I'm Madeline.
And I'm Deja.
And welcome back to the Elegance Exchange.
Today we're going to be talking about the elegance of appreciating yourself.
Alright, so, Thanksgiving is coming up. We really just wanted to talk about, appreciating yourself and finding gratitude in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would say as far as finding gratitude in your life, for some people this is hard because, you could be going through something where you're focused so much on the negative. I know personally last year I was in that mindset. I was not ready to focus on the positive and, see that I do have things in my life to be thankful for and grateful for.
Yeah.
So I think it's so easy for us as humans to really get in that mindset of just being negative, not finding the gratitude, really just focusing on what is wrong in our life.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you guys to just take a minute and listen to what we're going to talk about and really just breathe and understand that you do have things that you want in your life and you have things that you are happy for in your life,
mm-hmm.
whether you know it or not. So I would say starting off with finding the gratitude, okay? I think being able to spin a negative situation and turning it into a positive situation really shows you that you do have things to be happy about and you do have things to be thankful for. Count how many times I say that in this episode. But really just find a way to spin it, So if you are really struggling in school right now, say you are just a senior in high school and you just don't want to go to school, because I know that was me last year.
We all get like that sometimes.
Absolutely. Just focus on the fact that you get to go to school every day. You get to further your education and you get to become smarter every single day. You are growing and you are learning. Because at the end of the day, some people, they don't get to go to school. They don't have that opportunity, or, and that's not to undermine the way that you feel, because you absolutely are allowed to have those days where, you really just don't feel like going to school, because I understand it. Trust me.
Mm-hmm. Your senioritis starts to kick in and you're like, I don't want to do this. You're already so close to Thanksgiving and Christmas break, and so
you're like, just take me there.
Yeah. But
it's just so finding a way to spin a negative, that's super important. And talking about spinning the negative is something that's so important. But I think that also leads me into finding the positive and finding the gratitude. And something that I personally do, and I know, Deja, you do this too.
Yeah.
Is gratitude journaling. So gratitude journaling is kind of where you just put all of your thoughts and you put all that you are happy and excited for and that you are so thankful for down on paper. Because what that is doing is it's telling your mind that you do in fact have things that you are happy about.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of my favorite methods is writing down and making a list of all the things that I'm thankful for in a span of a minute. So I'll set a timer for a minute, and then I'll write down everything that I am thankful for. And I know, did you have a different method?
No, I use the same one.
Yeah, because people use different things,
mm-hmm.
and there's a multitude of books that you can, go through and look at.
Exactly.
And they'll tell you, but gratitude journaling honestly is something that has changed my life, and I know it's changed Deja's.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you don't even realize all that you have until you write it down and you really reflect on it and you look down and you're like, wow, I didn't know I actually had all this stuff to be grateful for.
Yeah. And that's super normal. I think we as humans really just sometimes forget, because
I think, yeah, we really do.
Yeah, and honestly, sometimes you just get busy with school, and so you're stressed out with that, and then you forget, oh, I get to go to school, or oh, I'm learning so much right now, I'm learning a lot, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a class in college that I struggle with it, because it's a comparative government class. So basically you're talking about all the governments in the entire world and their government structures. And I'm not going to nag on about this for too long, don't worry. But you compare all of the different government structures in the world. And I hated it at the beginning of the semester, because I thought it was so hard, because it's a hard class.
Yeah.
But I started to shift my mindset and be like, okay, well, I'm only in college once. or at least I hope. I'm only in college once, and I am taking a class that I would never have known about some of the situations that we talk about if I hadn't taken this class. So it's so important to really just find that positive. And say your math class is kicking your butt, okay?
Yeah, that's my calculus class. My calculus class is one of the hardest math classes I've ever taken, but like at the end of the day, I don't want to go to class. I don't want to be there, but you know, later on I'm just like, I didn't know you could do that. Like I didn't know we could like write out all these equations like that are pages long, and then like I would happen to know how to do that. And like now I do.
And I mean, hey, if you're in one of those smart people classes, you can brag about it. They don't know what your grade in that class, so guys.
They don't have to know.
Nobody knows. Literally, Deja will come in and she'll be like, oh, my calculus is kicking my butt. And I was like, okay, but like, you're so smart. Like, hello. Because I would not be taking that.
Another thing, like, I don't like, or I know some people don't like school, and like you focus more on the negatives.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be at school. I'd much rather stay in. I'd much rather do other stuff. But then, like, I always like school because I'd see people, you know? Like, it's one of those times where you get to see your friends and you're like, oh, well, I'm glad I can go because I'm glad I can see my friends and talk to them.
Right. You have those people that, you know, you really cherish in your life. So, you know, I think just being thankful for yourself in general.
And I think another method you could do is, like, those thank you letters.
Oh, those are so cute.
We did those in, like, elementary, where you would just write on a little note card, like, what you're thankful for. And you would just write a letter to yourself, like, oh, I love, like, you know, I love my hair, or I love my family.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, you can do this all throughout the year, okay? It does not have to be Thanksgiving. Because I will write to myself in my journal whenever I've had a really bad day, okay? Imagine you have a really bad day and you just are feeling so down about yourself, you know, you're really kicking yourself in the butt, you're like, I hate my, like, you know, you're saying all these bad things, which you never want to voice out loud, by the way, which is why I stopped myself. But you just sitting there and writing down. So say, you know, you are really worried about being super out there, or you're very talkative, okay? I want you to, literally what I would write down is I would be like, I am so thankful for the fact that I am okay going up to people, and I am okay going up and talking to people, because in my life I have gotten to go up to the more shy people and bring them out of their shell, or I have gotten to meet so many new people because I'm so outgoing and I'm so talkative.
Right.
Once again, yeah, just spinning it.
Yeah, that's a very nice way of looking at it, if anything, actually.
Yeah.
And I think in terms of appreciating yourself, it also comes in with comparison, because like comparison is the biggest thief of joy. And so you really do start comparing yourself to others, and that's when you don't realize the stuff that you have, because then you start seeing other people's lives and you're like, oh, I want that, or I wish mine was like this, but then you don't take a moment to reflect that, like, I'm grateful for what I have. Right.
And those people that you're comparing yourself to don't have something that you have. Everybody's so unique and they're so different. So like you might want a smaller family, okay? And they might want a bigger family. And you have the big family and they have the small family. And you're both just comparing yourselves to each other because you both want what the other has.
Yeah. Like grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, comparison is just, it's literally part of life. You know, I think as humans, we all do that.
I know, it's a very natural thing for us to do.
Right. And especially with social media, I think that's so prevalent.
Yes, it is. Especially on social media, because then you start seeing people's lives and they're like, oh, that's so perfect, like I wish my life was like that. But then you also like don't take into granted that like you can do stuff that not many people other people can.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I mean, people only put out the good things, or at least most people only put out the good things. If you're putting the bad things out on your life, then on social media, then most people don't do that. So, you know, you're really only seeing the perfection. You're only seeing the good things. You're not seeing any of the bad things. And so, yeah, just remember, don't compare, because it's all fake, or it's not realistic to maintain.
And I think even I have trouble with comparison. I know, literally recently I was taking pictures and I was like, oh, like I love my camera. It's the best thing I ever had. Like it's I love it so much. And then I see someone else's camera, and then you're like, oh, well, I wish I had that camera. But then, like, you don't realize, like, what I already have in front of me. Like, I already have an amazing camera. So I just think comparison is, you know, it's actually terrible.
Yeah, it's definitely not the healthiest thing, but
absolutely not.
You know, it really comes back to just finding that appreciation in yourself and understanding that while you might not have what somebody else has, you are truly special. There is only one of you on this planet. Nobody else is you. Nobody else, you know, holds the power that you hold, and they don't hold the meaning that you have. Every single person on this entire planet has their own purpose and their own meaning of life. And who cares if, you know, somebody else is an influencer that you were friends with and you wanted to be an influencer, but you're not an influencer. That's okay. It just shows that it wasn't your path, and you have and you're destined for something else, and that's a-okay.
Yeah. My mom even told me that. She was telling me that, like, at the end of the day, it's just you, and so you shouldn't be trying to go along with everyone else and comparing yourself to everyone else's lives. It's just you and your path and whatever you want to do.
Absolutely.
And what you do with yours.
But I mean, yeah, just really be true to yourself. Be thankful for who you are and what you are as a person. And I know these episodes are getting a little shorter. It's because we're trying some new things. So bear with us. But if you do like the longer episodes, then let us know. If you like the shorter episodes, definitely let us know that as well. But do you have anything else to add?
No, I don't have anything else to add.
So have a good Thanksgiving week. We will be launching an episode about the elegance of surviving Thanksgiving with the family, because
that one should be pretty exciting.
We know. We know how it goes.
It does tend to get a little chaotic.
Yeah, so really just I mean, just look forward for that episode and be grateful for yourself, be grateful for your family and all that you have, and just remember, you know, you have a lot of things to be happy about.
Yeah.
So make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's all the Elegance _exchange_ except for YouTube. That's just the Elegance Exchange. We make it nice and simple. So yeah, definitely follow us, leave us a DM or a comment for things that you want to hear. All right, bye babes.
Bye babes.